Good afternoon to everyone. I hope you're all safe and well. I can see some familiar names in the room. Yeah, and you would have received some contact from me as well. So as Danaya has explained, my name is Monique Morison. I'm the International Development Manager for BARBRI Global. And we work in, partnership with AIFC, Academy of Law. We've had lots of fun across 2022. We've had quite a few sessions together. This one is a little bit different to the rest, all right? Because this is English Speaking Club. So we're focusing on English speaking and developing a competence that is at a level that allows you to practice law in England and Wales, or even in the US. Now, working with you all over the last few months, oh my goodness, I can see many familiar names in the room. Hello, Elena, Alibek. Yes, I remember all of you. You would have demonstrated that you've got an interest in the solicitor's qualifying exam in the UK, England and Wales, and also an interest in the US bar exam. But we're focusing primarily on the SQE because you've all demonstrated that you love it. And it would be good if you could go ahead and pass the assessments, all right? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Now, there are a few things that you will need to note. But for now, if you could all pop yourselves onto mute so that we don't get any echoes in the background, that would be amazing. Yeah? Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, great. All right. So, as you know, I work with BARBRI Global, and we work alongside AIFC Academy of Law. We work in partnership with them. We have done for a little while now, yeah, good few years. So what I'm going to do first and foremost is share my screen with you so you can all see my PowerPoint. And once you can see it, if I could get a thumbs up, if I can get a hello, a wave, some kind of indication that you can see a bright blue screen. Awesome. Thank you, Danaya. I appreciate that. So for those of you who have never seen me before or never heard of BARBRI Global before, as Danaya explained, my name is Monique Morison. I'm the only International Development Manager for BARBRI Global, and my contact details are right there on the screen for you. You're definitely welcome to send an email if you've got any question. Please send your emails in English. All right. And you can also send me a WhatsApp message if you'd like. I have quite a few AIFC students that I'm engaged with, so you are all welcome to reach out with any questions that you have at this point. Now, for those of you who have never heard of BARBRI Global before, just to give you a very, very brief introduction, we've been around since 1967. So just over 55 years of experience. And prior to my joining, we averaged at about 40,000 students per year that were international students, all right? And as a total, we have 1.3 million alumni members based all over the world. That means people from all walks of life, speaking all different languages, have been able to engage with us. And the reason for this is because our programs are designed for international students. They're designed for students who may not necessarily have English as a first language as well. And we take a moment to walk students through the information because, no assumptions are made. We want to ensure that you pass your SQE assessments or your US bar exam. So, be happy to welcome many more students from Kazakhstan and many of the countries surrounding, all right? We want to see more of you on board, okay? All right, so as I mentioned, we're a US law school, UK law school. We focus on preparation for US bar exams and for the SQE assessments in England and Wales. And at this point, we are number one. We hold 57% of the market share in the US, and we're leaders in the UK as well, which is pretty awesome, yeah? Okay, now, on to what matters most for the English-speaking club. And as I said, definitely, if you could all pop yourselves on mute for a moment and listen closely, you might find out something new, all right? Okay, first things first. BARBRI Global we operate without an admissions team. We only respond or answer to the regulatory bodies. And because many of you have been interested in the solicitor's qualifying exam in England and Wales, I thought that would be, the best place to start. Now, the solicitor's qualifying exam, or the SQE, as it's commonly known, is regulated by the Solicitor's Regulation Authority. Okay, now they're commonly known as the SRA. Let me go on back because I think I've clicked too far ahead. Here we are. They are the regulatory bodies, and they're the ones who allow solicitors to be admitted and have the ability to practice law in the UK, well, in England and Wales. And because of that, they're the ones that you would register with, and they're the ones that you would answer to if you're interested in the solicitor's qualifying exam. Now, they expect a level of English language competence from everyone who wishes to become a solicitor. And this expectation takes place after you're admitted as a solicitor, but before you apply for your first practicing certificate. And you would demonstrate your English language competence through a form that you would get from your My SRA account. Now, it sounds a bit much, right? But ultimately, if you want to write the solicitor's qualifying exam, you need to create an account with the SRA. You need to book your SQE assessments with the SRA. And upon completion, well, successful completion of your SQE assessments, that is when you are called to the role of solicitors in England and Wales. Now, that's a new phrase. A lot of students don't know about that. All they hear about is called to the bar, which has no relevance in England and Wales. Being called to the bar is not something that happens for a solicitor in England and Wales. It happens for barristers, all right? So if you're thinking about becoming a solicitor, then you'll be called to the role of admissions by the SRA. And once, you've completed all your SQE assessments, all right? And after you've been admitted by the SRA, that's when you've got to demonstrate your English language competence. You can do it in a few ways, all right? You can do it by proving that you successfully passed an English or Welsh language assessment, which fulfills the following core requirements. The assessment is at a high level. So something like the Common European Framework of Reference, so we know it as CEFR, all right, for English language, you would need to have passed that at a level C2. Yeah, a little bit complicated, right? Now, you would have been assessed on reading, writing, listening, and speaking, which is core for many English language assessments. Many of you may well be more familiar with things like IELTS, Cambridge English language, Pearson as well. Some people have studied via Pearson, okay? But you've got to have demonstrated that you've successfully passed a language assessment in order to fulfill the SRA requirements. And there's a system of independent assessment report verification, which means that they can independently check your results against the provider, their records. So you submit all of your information and they go on back to the Common European Framework of Reference, for instance, and they can check with their systems that you actually meet those requirements and that you've been assessed on reading, writing, listening, and speaking ability. Okay, so it's really, really key for you to keep this in the back of your minds, that you've got to demonstrate English language competence if you're thinking about becoming a solicitor in England and Wales. Okay. Now, there's also ID verification throughout the testing process, and it ensures that the security of these tests and the results, are able to deal with candidates, ensure that, everything is clear cut. And if there's any fraudulent behavior, they can also, fish that out. They can find that out as well. Now, any assessment that you've completed, be it an IELTS, as I said, Pearson VUE, Cambridge, any assessment has got to have been completed and passed within 2 years prior to your application for admission. So if you're thinking about becoming a solicitor in 2023, you will need to have completed an assessment at least at the latest 2021. It's got to be 2 years prior. And in addition to some of the core requirements, they might ask for additional evidence. Yeah. And this will include that they, wherever it was that you completed your English language assessment, that they've got appropriate policies in place. They have a process for reasonable adjustment requests and for ensuring the standard, validity and reliability of the assessments are nice and clear, and they're meeting all of the SRA's requirements. Now, I'm going to stop sharing just for a moment because this is a lot of English language for you all, and it might be difficult for you to understand. So just to be clear, if you wish to become a solicitor in England and Wales, you need to have passed an accredited English language assessment, an assessment that covers reading, writing, listening, speaking. Okay, you've got to do that in order to become a solicitor in England and Wales. And folks, absolutely, it's the same in the US. If you're thinking about completing the New York bar exam, for instance, or the California bar exam, you've got to demonstrate that you've studied in English in its entirety, your whole law degree. All right. So if you're thinking about the US, you must have studied in English. Otherwise, you will need to have completed an IELTS, yeah, or some other English language assessment. And for the SQE, it's the same. You have got to have either studied in English or secured an English language certificate of some kind. All right. Now, you all know me. You've all been working with me for the last 12 months. I recognize many of you, and you know that I deal with the source. You've got to go to the source, all right? So I'm going to share my screen again, and I'm going to take you to the Solicitors Regulation Authority website, the SRA. And as I said, they are the regulatory bodies. If you wish to become a solicitor in England and Wales, you've got to meet their requirements. And they have an English or Welsh language competence requirement. Now, folks, to be clear, it doesn't matter if it's SQE1 or SQE2, the requirements are still the same. You've got to have secured a language assessment that demonstrates that you can speak, read, and write in English, okay? And it's got to be, something that's recognized. So IELTS, Pearson VUE, Cambridge, or even the Common European Framework of Reference for Languages, it's got to be recognized by the SRA, okay? So keep that in mind. Get on with it, folks. If you haven't already started, make a start today. Have a look at the SRA website. I always say this. All right, have a look at the SRA website. You might see some good news for you. You might find that you already meet the requirements. Okay, now ENIC NARIC. I call them NARIC. They're awesome. If you have studied in another country, let's say Kazakhstan or Russia or any of the Eastern European countries, you might have studied at a university who's already recognized by NARIC. They're already familiar with your documents. And if you send everything over to them, they can tell you whether your certificates meet the equivalence or are higher than the requirements stipulated by the SRA. So you might get some good news from them, okay? And, as long as it's a government recognized university in the UK, then you should be absolutely fine with that too. But what I would suggest to you all is that you begin to demonstrate your competence from day one, all right? So no assumptions, okay? If you are registering with the SRA and thinking about becoming a solicitor, have your transcripts and your certificates translated into English so that they can actually see it, they can read it firsthand, okay? If you send things over in Russian, then they're going to believe that you can't speak English, okay? So have it translated officially by your universities if need be, and then send it over to them. Make life easiest for the SRA. The reason why I say that is because you will get on through a lot quicker. Otherwise, they're going to come on back to you, and the first question they will ask is, can you speak English? Yeah. So ensure that all of your documents are translated clearly in English, and ensure that everything is converted into a PDF format so it's nice and easy to download, and the SRA will be happy as Larry, and they'll be happy to admit you to the role of solicitors in England and Wales. Now, I want this to happen for many of you. Absolutely. I know that many of you are thinking about an international qualification, dual qualifying. I know quite a few of you in this room right now are already practicing lawyers in your own right, and you're thinking about branching out a little bit. Well, that's going to be your first port of call, your English language competence. These are the things that they're going to look at, and this is what they're going to be most interested in if you're thinking about becoming a solicitor in England and Wales. Now, you all know me. I never spend time reading from a screen, all right? You're going to fall asleep. What I'd like this to be is the most interactive session you've ever attended. And so I need to hear questions. Please, please, please. I've got some people in the room here who I know have asked questions before, so I'd definitely like to hear from you. Asel, Elena, Yolan, yeah, Alibek, Igor, yeah, I remember you all. So please speak up if you have a question, and I'll be happy to help you today. If you're a little bit shy, type it into the chat box. Be sure to type in English, and I'll be happy to help you throughout the remaining time we have together today. So, any questions at this point? Any questions at all?
Thank you, Monique. So as Monique has already mentioned, you may just turn on your mics and ask your questions.
Yes, please do. I want to see you. I want to hear you. I absolutely need some questions today because I want to ensure everybody is clear on this and everybody understands. So, any questions at all?
Maybe I can start with the first question. Okay, we have a question. We have a voluntarily.
Yes, I heard somebody. Who was that?
Volunteer. Ilan, please.
I want to just say I don't have questions.
You don't have questions, Yalan? Well, thank you for joining today. I'm glad that you came on board. It's good to see you and to hear you. Definitely. All right. And what about Miss Elena Lee? She's absolutely awesome. I wonder if Elena's got any questions today. No? I do remember you. All right, what I'm going to do is reshare my screen with you all, okay? And we're going to move forward because, as I said, I know my AIFC students are super interested in the SQE and you want to know more about that. That's why you're here, okay? So, as I said, absolutely 100% ensure that you've got an English language assessment completed. If you haven't done it already, do it now, especially if you're thinking about becoming a solicitor in England and Wales over the next few months, all right? Now, as you know, I've mentioned it, it's the US bar exam, that's what we prepare students for, or the solicitor's qualifying exam. That's another thing we prepare students for. And I know that the AIFC, Academy of Law, the majority of you guys are focused on the SQE preparation course for you to go ahead and complete an SQE assessment. Now I'm going to run through this super fast, all right? So that you're all aware, if you're qualified lawyers in Kazakhstan or any other country, you will qualify for the SQE. You can do the SQE, but again, you will need an English language assessment. If you're a paralegal, if you've got a SILEX or you're a barrister, absolutely you qualify for the SQE. But again, English language, folks. And if you've got an undergraduate degree in any subject whatsoever, it's still a yes. Yeah, all right. So this is your first port of call. Get your qualifications, your transcripts, certificates, get your references, and your English language assessments, all right? Get all of your documents together and you'll be absolutely fine to move forward with the SQE route, okay? And you all know it, you've all seen it before, but this is what we are talking about, preparing to become a legal professional in England and Wales or in the US. So it would be good to note that this is the route, SQE1, SQE2, qualifying work experience, and then you've got character and suitability. And at each point, they are looking for you to demonstrate competence at every level, most specifically English language. They want to know that you can communicate with your clients, yeah, and that you can understand what your clients are trying to tell you. They also want to know that you are able to read, write, and draft legal documents, which again requires a level of English language competence. So it's super important that you begin this journey today. If you haven't done so already, now is the time to start and have a look at the different qualifications that are available locally to you all so that you can become a legal professional in England and Wales. And I know that that's the goal here, yeah? So get started today and you'll be absolutely fine. The SQE1 exam is English. It's all in English. It's a mixed subject, multiple choice exam. You need to understand the questions that are being posed because you've got 360 questions to answer. So again, we're looking for a level of English language competence so that you can pass these exams and you can move forward. You might want to think about ensuring that you've got a keyboard that is English language facing, all right? Because if you're completing the SQE1 exam, you will be completing it online, most likely with the AIFC, and it will be conducted in English. At no point will it be conducted in any other language. So it's important that you are able to understand what's on the screen, that you are able to understand the questions that are being asked of you, and that you can respond, all right? Now, these are the subjects that are covered within the SQE1 exam. So you will be expected to understand every element, yeah? Now, we prepare you for this. Our SQE1 preparation course mirrors the SQE1 exam, and it's delivered in its totality in English. So it's really important that, you know, you not only can get on through a session like this with me, where you're listening to me and you're reading what's on the screen, but you also want to be able to communicate and speak clearly in English so that we can understand what it is that you're looking for and what you want to do, yeah? And we've got a few programs available. We've got start dates going on right now, to be honest with you. There's quite a few of them. But this is what I'm focused on the most, the SQE2. And the reason being is because the assessments are based on oral and written assessments. All right, you've got 18 in total, okay? And it's all oral or written in English. That's why we expect you to have a level of English language competence to get on through these assessments, yeah? If you're interviewing a client, it's going to be expected that you can speak in English. If you are advocating on behalf of your clients, it is expected that you do this in English. Case analysis is going to be conducted in English. The case will be written out in English. When you're researching, writing, or drafting any legal documents in England and Wales, it's going to be in English. So it would be good to know this now so you can begin preparing. Okay, now one of the cool things about BARBRI Global that I love the most is that we don't actually have an English language requirement. So you can enroll onto SQE1 or SQE2, it's absolutely fine with us. We don't expect you to hold IELTS or anything else, but the SRA do. So you've still got to keep that in the back of your minds, that this is going to come up. You will be expected to speak in English, all right? So it would be good to know that everything you're doing is in English, except your qualifying work experience. Yeah, you can complete that in Kazakhstan. That's absolutely fine. We don't mind that. But it's got to be signed off by a solicitor that's recognized by the SRA. They've got to review your work. They've got to give you some feedback. They've even got to provide a reference for you. In which language, guys? English, all right? So this is why this is so important for you guys to keep this in the back of your minds. And if you've got to make a step, make that step today. Take it today. You can understand me, that's why we're here today, right? So you've demonstrated a level of competence already. So don't be shy, just get on with it, engage with whichever program you see fit, as long as it's, you know, accredited, then it's absolutely fine. You should be absolutely fine, all right? And it's going to be perfect for you. I've told you before, the SQE is perfect for every one of you in this room, yeah? So let's get going, folks, all right? Let's get started. Now, another cool thing about BARBRI Global that I love the most, you don't need a personal statement to study with us, and you don't need transcripts to study with us. So we don't expect you to do any essay writing to get on board with us. If you'd like to enroll, you can enroll today. As long as you've got an undergraduate degree, you're absolutely welcome to do that. But I would advise, invite you and advise you a couple of things. AIFC has a BARBRI Award of their own, given to you in English. And when you enroll onto the course, you've got to input your BARBRI Award in English, okay? So pop on over to the team, send them a message in the chat box. Danaya, Aidana, Beirut, they are all awesome and they're happy to help you. But they're only going to tell you the same as me, all right? Are you able to speak English? Are you able to understand? Are you able to read and write? They will ask you. And if you can say yes, then absolutely go for it. Yeah, you can enroll with us today. But when you enroll, the enrollment system is in English. So I've said it like 100 times today. Absolutely. We expect you to speak English, but we don't ask you for certificates or anything like that. The SRA will. Okay, so no surprises. You absolutely are aware. You've got to get that in the bag. Ensure that you've got an English language competence certificate that demonstrates that you are absolutely awesome and you're not just becoming, dual qualified, but you're bilingual as well. And being bilingual, it allows your earning potentials to go through the roof. UK law firms based across England and Wales, they want you on board. They want bilingual speakers. They want people who can, do more than just speak English. So we're not asking you to do away with, your native language. We want you for those reasons. But we need to communicate with you as well. We need to understand you as well. Yeah. All right. Nice and short session today, guys. Yeah. The key message for you all is absolutely get on with it. Make a start if you haven't done so already. Get your English language certificates in play. Have a look at your records. You might have already done one. As long as it's within the last 2 years, it's absolutely fine. And you can move forward and be called to the role of solicitors in England and Wales. Okay. Awesome. All right. Now I'm going to ask for the last time today. Do any of you have any questions? Anyone at all? Or would you like to type it into the chat box if you're a little bit shy?
Monique, may I ask you a question that is maybe like general common for everyone? What is the share of those who transfer from their local qualifications into international? Because like there is a stereotype that only those who have been raised in an English-speaking environment can get a international qualification.
No, that's a really bad stereotype, and I can tell you right now, it's not a fact at all. I've been working with international students for many years. All right. I've only been with BARBRI Global for 1 year, but I used to work with the University of Law, and I can tell you flat out, I've been recruiting international students to become solicitors and barristers in England and Wales for years. And absolutely, it doesn't matter where you're coming from. Kazakhstan, Russia, could be Turkey, Istanbul. You are all welcome. And then absolutely, I've seen it for myself. I've seen people come on through from Japan, China. Yeah, these are not English-speaking countries. I've even seen students coming in from Africa, and they are qualifying and becoming legal professionals in England and Wales. Absolutely, 100%. I can attest to that. The barriers that are in place are, in many instances, created by either the individual student themselves or the law firms that they are looking at. Now, a lot of students think, magic circle. I only want to work for a magic circle law firm. And they don't get through. So they say, well, you know, I haven't been successful, but they haven't tried anywhere else. Now, in England and Wales, we have Magic Circle, we have Silver Circle, we have regional, we have high street, and we have city law firms. There are many different types of law firms, and they're all welcoming internationals who are bilingual, so able to speak in English confidently, but also in their native tongue. And the reason why they're doing that is because they want to offer international law. England is one of the most multicultural countries in the world. And, you know, as a law firm, you will have clients coming in from all over the world. And what is happening right now is the law firms are realizing how important and what an asset international legal professionals are. So there are no barriers, really. It's just about the individual and the law firms that they're targeting. Now, we have a careers and employability service designed to ensure that you are successful and you are able to secure employment. Now, I think they're pretty awesome, to be honest with you, yeah, especially under the SQE. And I'm showing it to you now, so hopefully you can see my screen. But especially under the SQE, it's designed for international students. It's designed to ensure that you are able to secure employment. So if that is a worry of yours, be an early bird. That's what I always say. Don't wait until after you've qualified. Start now. And our team, our employment team, see it the same way. So they will help you. They will advise you on writing your CV in English, cover letter in English, preparing for interviews and interview questions, and even negotiating your salary, which again, you know, in a lot of instances, international students are just happy to get a job. Now we are empowering you to be able to articulate yourselves confidently and negotiate for what is best for you. Another cheeky thing that, you know, a lot of people don't know is that as a result of COVID, 30% of the roles that are in England and Wales across the legal sector, 30% are available remotely. Now, this has been a really cool thing because what I've been doing, with my little protest card for my international students, is I've been telling them, look, if you can secure a job remotely, that means home working. That means you don't even need to travel to England and Wales to work for a UK-based law firm. All right, you can actually secure employment in Kazakhstan, yeah, with a UK-based law firm. And you can be working with them every single day and making, great British pounds, all right? That you've got to be able to communicate with your team, with your boss, all right? You've got to be able to get on through the interviews and all of that. So for now, what I would say is definitely have a look at the employability team. You've got a whole careers hub. They're absolutely amazing. They offer one-to-one meetings, okay? So you can actually schedule a meeting with them and they will talk you through the whole process of becoming a solicitor in England and Wales. They will help you to secure employment and qualifying work experience. We've got quite a few partners who are happy to get you on board. So if you're worried and you think, is this going to be right for me? Am I going to be able to secure employment? The answer is yes, 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 yes. You've just got to go for it, okay? Take that step, reach out, say something to me, let me help you, all right? But yeah, those barriers that used to be in play, Janaya, they're no longer there. The sector is wide open and they're looking for equality. They're looking for a little bit of diversity and they're looking for inclusion, which means they need international lawyers to demonstrate that they are, up to the time and, they're trending and this is 2023. So we want everyone, men, women, doesn't make a difference. We want you on board. And all you've got to do is take that step and you will see the level of support that's available to you. You will feel a lot more confident. You'll be able to commence that journey and become an international lawyer. All right. Okay, awesome. Now there's a few tips for foreign candidates, especially for the US bar exam, because I've just been talking about the solicitor's qualifying exam. But there's a few tips for foreign candidates who are interested in the US bar exam as well. And again, English language is paramount. They are expecting you to speak in English. They expect you to have a level of English competence. So you can go ahead and engage with the bar associations. You can get confirmation of your eligibility to complete the bar exam, and you can move on forward. Now, I love the BARBRI website because there's just so much information here for you all, especially for foreign international candidates. So if you're interested, it's www.barbri.com. Have a look. You will see there's a lot of information here, literally just for what they call foreign. And foreign is everybody outside of the US. Even I'm foreign, yeah? Have a look and you might find that there's some interesting information there for you. But you know what? I have had this question come up before, English is not my first language. And do you help at all with that? We do. We actually offer tutoring programs to help you with your English language. These tutoring programs help you with understanding what's on the screen, understanding the question that's being posed, and helping you to respond in English. Now, they're available, for a day, for a week, whatever way you want to do it. But there are packages available for you if you're interested and, a little bit maybe not so confident in your English. We've got these programs and I'm going to show it to you super fast so you can see it on your screen. Here we are. We've got private tutoring available. And this is primarily for international candidates who are just a little bit unsure and need a little bit more support when it comes to English, writing, reading, speaking, and listening. All right. And they do help They do help, and we do have students that love them. Now, you could go with the individual session if you want. We've got a silver package, we've got gold, we've got platinum, but these are all designed to ensure that you feel confident to go ahead and complete your exam or the assessments. It depends on which way you want to go. So if you really want some support, we can provide that for you, but it's not an English language assessment. You will still need to complete one, okay? Most commonly I see is IELTS and Pearson VUE and Cambridge. Those are the ones that I see most common. But if you're not sure, have a look at the regulatory body, have a look at the Solicitors Regulation Authority website, and they will help you with that. Okay, cool. I feel as if we've covered everything, Danaya. How do you feel? I think that we have.
Yeah, this is like, as usual, Monique gives all useful information. So if anyone still has questions, we have more time for Q&A. If not, we may just call it a day.
Well, what usually happens, Danaya, which I love about the AIFC Academy, right, is that they'll stay super quiet in the session, and then I'll get a ton of emails. Now, folks, I've been reaching out to you all. That's why I recognize your names. Yalan, Alibek, yeah. I've been reaching out to you all. Now, I've put my email address into the chat box for you, and I'm inviting you to contact me, but I'm also inviting you to have a look in your inbox, and you will see that I've been desperately trying to reach you all for months. So if you'd like to have a one-to-one consultation with me, or if you'd like to just send me an email with your questions, do it today, because we've got an SQE start date right now. We've got an SQE 20-week program beginning 6th of February, and students are enrolling right now. So if you're interested and you want to start, check your inbox, answer me in English, right? In English, folks, and I'll be able to help you, okay?
If anyone has questions, you may address them either directly to Monique or to us at the Academy of Law, or if you have further questions. Yeah, sure.
Yalan, hello.
What kind of GPA I need to start preparing to SQI?
Okay, so you need the equivalent to a level 6, so a GPA of about 3, I think.
3
I think
years. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's about 3.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay.
Now,
I
if
have,
you're thinking,
and I have last question. If I am, I have a bachelor degree of law, it's okay? Yes.
yeah, for the SQE, absolutely, absolutely, Yalan.
Okay. Thank you.
Do you hold one already? Have you got a bachelor degree in Yalan? Do you hold a bachelor's in law now?
Can we ask again?
Do you hold your bachelor's in law right now? Have you finished studying?
No, I already finished it, and I'm working in financial company.
Awesome. So what's
Yes.
stopping you? You're ready right now. You can enroll today, Yalan.
100% I'm ready.
100%. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay,
Yes,
Yalan.
but my GPI is lower than 3.
It doesn't matter. If it's a bachelor's and you've completed it and you've got a pass,
Yes.
yeah?
Yes, I have transcription.
Yeah?
Of my diploma in English.
Yeah? Then that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Yeah?
But,
you can enroll today.
Yes, but in Kazakhstan we have like German system of law, but in English we have like English. It's how to say, it's different about system of law, you know.
Yes.
And for me, it's maybe it will be hard to understand have codes in we have codes, but in England we have another like system.
Yeah, I understand. That's why we have the SQE 40 weeks. Because it gives, it gives you time to digest the information and you learn all of the areas of law within the system of England and Wales. So it's perfect for you. Yeah, absolutely perfect, Yolan. So
Sorry, do I need to have IELTS?
No, not for us.
No, possible.
Yeah, not to study with BARBRI, no. But you will need your English language diploma when you're called to the role of solicitors. That's when you'll need it. But right now, no.
Okay, understand. Thank you.
As long as you're ready to study, BARBRI can help you.
Yeah, absolutely. And Yalan, please could you contact Danaya or Idana or Beirut and get your AIFC BARBRI award so you can have a discount. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And you may
You're
also
welcome.
visit our website. We have additional information about everything we can offer you to prepare for your SQE or US bar qualification exam.
Yeah, that's right. So you could have a look at the AIFC Academy of Law website. Yeah, they've got lots of information. They've got a whole section on BARBRI Global there. You can also get your AIFC BARBRI award from the team. Okay, there are different awards, so you've got to contact the team and they will let you know which one you can have, Yalan. And if you want to, you can enroll today with your BARBRI award. And it's the same for Medina, for Umit, for Jury, Raslan, all of you. You are all welcome to enroll today. As long as you've got an undergraduate degree, you're absolutely fine to start studying with us. Okay. Any other questions before we wrap up? Anything else? No?
Okay, as we've mentioned before, you may just contact us anytime.
Yes, please.
And we can also, they are transferred all the questions from us to Monique, and she will help us with answering these questions. Okay, then Monique, thank you so much for sharing your time today. We value our partnership very much, and we hope that this session was useful for everyone today, and one day you will build your international legal career, and remember us as those helping you to build one. Okay, then have a nice day, you all. Thank you, Monique.
Thank you too. It's been a pleasure. Take care then. Bye, everyone. Bye.